Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. This time we take a look at the 1995 Venturi Atlantique 600 LM edition. This is the car based on the 1995 Le Mans entrant that would fail to finish in the 1995 Le Mans 24 Hours. Although I say that, it did actually cross the line in one piece, which is more than usually can be said for the French. However, it did finish 21st and wasn't classified because it didn't complete 70% of the race distance. Tough luck Venturi. Of course, Venturi would now go on to basically build electric Citroen Berlingo vans, so yeah, maybe that wasn't the only L they ever took. In terms of this game, this car, I think I've driven it before in an endurance race, and I remember it being quite good. And it does have to be said, failed or not, the LM edition seemed to do very, very well. The one I'm going to sort of signal out for this car, not just because they're right next to each other in terms of the naming list, the Vector M12 LM edition was a very quick car. And they sort of go back and forth a little bit, this and Vector. I think the Vector M12 road car was very slightly quicker than the Atlantique 400 GT, which had the worst brakes I've ever driven around here, so I'm hoping this has better brakes than that car did. But yeah, I sort of think that might be sort of comparable. Admittedly, that was very, very fast. I'm not sure if this is going to be quite that fast or if we're going to look a little bit lower. I guess we will find out. In terms of power, though, it certainly got more than enough. Mid-engine rear-wheel drive, 715 horsepower, 960 kilos. In terms of a power-to-weight ratio, that is a very phenomenal, and in fact, I think it's actually more than the M12 LM edition by quite a significant amount. Will it be as controllable as that car, though? That's the question. Anyways, to find out how the Venturi Atlantique 600 LM edition gets along, it is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Currently, it is the Suzuki Scudo Pikes Peak version that car set a time of a 25.696. The Venturi Atlantique 600 LM edition is unlikely to beat that. Again, I sort of mentioned the Vector, 28.111 is the time for the Vector. Straight away on its first lap, it set a pretty stonking lap time, it does have to be said. 29.087 is far faster than a lot of cars get, I'll tell you that. It does feel quite nice to drive, it does have to be said, for something that has 715 horsepower and 960 kilos of weight. Usually, that is a pure recipe for disaster. 28.485, again, not quite Vector pace, but then again we haven't quite had an ultimate lap out of this yet. A little bit sideways, that was a bit terrifying. Usually in a mid-engine car, if you start going sideways, that is a death sentence. Fortunately in this, we just about managed to get it to play ball again. Oh my god. Okay. It is quicker than the Vector M12 LM edition. That is actually almost as quick as the R390 LM edition. That isn't supposed to happen, I don't think. In terms of the script, I mean, sure, I'll take it. That also means it is quicker than the Toyota GT1. Granted, that is another failed Le Mans car. Technically. I did find out, actually, the 99 finished second, so it wasn't all bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't all bad. A trip across the grass there really hurt this, but then again, a trip across the grass always hurts a car. Well, not always, but you know. Tried to focus, and focusing commentary is never the best, it does have to be said. It's just about finding out when you can put the power down and when it's too early, and that was too early. Could have gone quicker. Could have gone quicker. I'm not sure by how much, admittedly. I don't know. I mean, the R390 is only like 200th ahead of it, so it should be, or 200th, even 20th. What am I talking about? It's 200th of a second quicker. There you go, that's what I was trying to say. God, that boggled my mind a little bit driving that. Very quick car, very nice car to drive, to be fair. A little bit scary in points. I would probably choose the Vector if you want a slightly nicer driving experience. But in terms of sort of out and out speed, that is up there. I say I could have gone quicker. I don't... sectors... I think there might be, if you really kept pushing it, you could probably get it into a higher 27.8. And admittedly, 27.8 is quite a crowded section of the leaderboard, to be honest. But I'm happy with that. That's a really good performance from a really good car. Stonking lap time, stonking pace. Like, the pace in that is just unreal. There's not many cars that are as quick as that, I'll tell you that for certain. It is interesting though, despite that, it is still 0.2 down on the XJ220, and I don't think this would get anywhere near that XJ220. So that is an interesting caveat. A 27.859 will place this into 18th place. Goes in between the Nissan R390 GT1 LM Edition 97 and the Nissan R390 GT1 Road Car. So that's interesting. It's quicker than the Roof CTR2 Sport, Nissan R390 GT1 Road Car 98, Roof BTR 3.8. I don't think you'll be able to see it from where you are in the leaderboard, but it is quicker than Toyota GT1 Race Car, Dodge Viper STP Taizan, Vector LM Edition, and the Ford GT40 race car. And those really are like the top tier of race cars in this game, so that is a madly impressive time from the Venturi. In fact, if you don't count... No, I'm going to try and make a weird analogy there, but it's not going to work. It is the 5th quickest LM edition. Yeah, that hasn't really worked either. It was a good car. That's all you really need to know. However, despite its name, it was not car 600. This was car 599. 600 is coming tomorrow. Join us for that. Until then, farewell.